Just in brief, I'm Lisbeth Nedergaard. I'm head of communications in Spies and Sun-class Airlines as well. And today I brought with me my brand manager, Maria Byskov. I'll do the presentation and we'll both answer questions afterwards. But let us begin with telling you just a bit about where we come from and what we represent. We are in Denmark known as Spies. It's the by far largest tour operator in Denmark. We're part of the Greater Northern Leisure Traffic Group. Sorry, that came out completely wrong. Nordic Leisure Travel Group, sorry. And that covers all the 4 Nordic countries, and we have been more than 50 years in the travel industry. In Denmark, it all started with Spies. All the Danes would know that name and know the very long history about him. To the foreigners, I can just in brief tell you, he was a very special person. And you can see the Danes laughing. He was indeed very special, but he was the man who invented package tours in Denmark. He took the first Danish tourists to the island of Mallorca. It took them days to get down there because they went by bus, then by ferry. They came to Mallorca and they stayed for a couple of weeks because the journey was so long, and then they went back. That was 1956. And since then, we've done exactly that. Changing into airplanes, but the same concept, just refined and developed over more than 50 years. It was literally, back then, the way of making holidays abroad available for the normal people of Denmark. Today we're part of this Nordic group. It is a very strong group to be a member of. We are in 4 markets, but we work with the same business model. We have the same products, we share the same, and that makes us a really strong player in the market of holidays. We have our own airline, it's called Sun-class Airlines, which is an amazing thing to have because it means we actually control the entire journey from you depart from the airport till you come back. So we own that entire journey and we can control all links, which makes us a very flexible and a very reliable package tour operator because it's us all the way. To give you a few numbers, as I said, we've been here more than 50 years. We would every year, and I have to say, I probably think a few others would come in with that comment, all the numbers I have are before Corona. Everything I deliberately taken last year, our fiscal year ends by the end of September, so it's not done yet. Therefore, the number says 18-19. But I've deliberately stuck to the years, to the numbers from last year, because that makes sense. This year does not make sense to the travel industry at all. Don't get me started. I'll try to stay off the subject of Corona and just pretend everything is normal. In a normal year, we would send around 1.4 billion customers down south to the beach. We will make a turnover of 14.2 billion Swedish kroners. We make it in Swedish. We would sell more than 1.5 million holiday trips, and we would employ more than 2,300 people. We cover 379 destinations. It's not only the very popular holiday destinations. By our so-called dynamic packaging, we cover basically every corner of the world. If I move on to the Danish part, which is Spies, a few numbers about Spies is not 50, it's 63 years in the market. It is 273,000 Danish guests that we sent down south last year. And we are sending them to 28 charter destinations, which means the package tour. Of course, we also have the dynamic packaging out of here. When we fly with our Sun-class Airlines, we make sure to fill up the aircraft because that makes sense in every single way, specifically when you think about the climate. We fill up to the last seat. We fill up 99% of the aircraft on every departure. We fly from where people want to leave to the destination direct. That decreases the pollution. We take them out of any airport you could even think of. So every summer we actually have 11 departures out of the island of Bornholm. We also have more than 20 airports in Sweden. Sweden is actually a pretty big country. So we take departure from 20 or more airports in Sweden to make sure that people living all over the country can get to the closest airport and fly directly to their holiday. When people want to book a holiday with us, they go online. We do not have any shops in the high street anymore. They closed down 2 years ago because it simply doesn't make sense. Today, it's online, it's digital, and if you are in trouble, use the phone. That's what they do. When they want to go on holiday, they ask for sun and beach. And our main destinations are the islands in the Mediterranean, plus the Canary Islands, which is not in the Mediterranean, but out there. So it means that basically we are very dependent on our airline to get to the islands down there. That's the most popular, that's what people want, and that's what we excel in delivering. We also have down there our own hotels. We have a lot of concept hotels, which we have, over the more than 63 years, refined to provide what people want. So it's our hotel, we have our staff there. They are built to cater for Nordic families. And we have the other concept, which is called Sun Prime, which is built to cater for northern non-families, i.e. the people who do not want kids around them. I could see that work pretty well. So apart from the charter, which naturally is our main product, we have what we call dynamic packaging. That is, you buy transportation from A to B and a hotel. It is not with the classic charter airline, it could be with any airline. The hotels are not our dedicated concept hotels. It could be one of the, couple of thousand different hotels we have available. And what people are looking for when they do that, they want to go on city breaks. London is the primary, Barcelona, Rome, Paris, New York. That's what they're looking for. If they go far away, we have quite a few people heading for the Maldives or Florida, Thailand, Bali, or Mauritius. Again, it's sun and beach they're looking for. The shorter ones, which is not a charter, is Costa del Sol, southern Spain, Dubai, again, Mallorca, Malta, and the Canary Islands. It is, again, mainly package tours. These days, that's a great advantage because package tour fits under the package tour regulation, which ensures that if anything goes wrong, you're ensured to get your money back. It has become a unique selling point these days because people really look for it. With the number of cancellations we've seen this terrible summer, it is no surprise that people, they want a guarantee that they can get their money back in case of cancellations. Our philosophy, our vision is to be the best loved holiday company, delighting our customers, staff, and our shareholders. We are here to make money, but we are mainly here to give people the best weeks of the year. So we want to be our customers' first choice. We want to be the one that they think of when they want to go on holiday. And thankfully, it seems that we are. When we look at our journey, we have what we call the moments of truth, and it's put into our heart. And it's the stages that you go through when you want to go on a holiday. And the thing that makes it really important for us and what we live off is that we own the entire chain. So when we talk about the booking, we own the internet setup, the websites that we have, which is really working pretty well. We own the departure because it's our airline. We have our staff in the airport. We own the transportation when they arrive at the destination because it's our transfer buses that take them directly to their hotel. We own the experience on the hotel because it's our hotel, and so on. So when people, they come home, they share their experiences, and they are, and we're pretty happy with it, not afraid to praise our product. This is what makes us happy, and this is what makes us survive in a world of a very strong competition when it comes to holidays. Because you are competing for people's extra money, and you're competing for the most important weeks of the year when you're competing for people's holiday. It is what we save up for the entire year to spend a week or two with our family, our friends, our loved ones. So it's really, really important for us. And we can see that because people, they put a lot of effort into booking the right holiday, getting the right product. They know all the details when they book the holiday. And therefore, it is so important for us that they're satisfied. And they are. We also see, which is surprising to a lot, including me sometimes, that people, they actually go down to the same hotel and celebrate their silver anniversary. And that's not the silver anniversary with their loved ones. No, that's with the hotel, because it's the 25th year in a row that they come back to the same hotel, in the same island, in the same place, because that's what they want. And we've seen a lot of these people. We have one hotel in the Canary Islands called Altamar, and I can tell you that hotel is booked. If you are a newcomer, you're going to have a hard time coming in because it's booked years ahead by the same people. Sustainability is not something that we invented when it became a thing you needed to do a couple of years ago. We've done it since 1990. It's been part of our core for decades. And we take it very seriously. Because if we're not sustainable, we're not here for the next decades. If we're not sustainable, we do not keep our beaches beautiful and clean. And if we're not sustainable, we can't continue doing what we do. So we take it very seriously, we put a lot of effort into it, and we put a lot of money into it as well. And you can see all these different initiatives that we've taken on the way. I'm not going to bore you with all of them, but as you can see, we do a lot into certification. We make sure that our airline is the airline with the lowest emission per passenger kilometer. We are actually around 30% better off in emission than an ordinary airline. That's because we fill up the aircraft, and that's because we go directly from A to B. So it's not something that we take lightly. As you can see, we've had a lot of climate offsetting. A year and a half ago, we introduced the climate offsetting, and we agreed we're not going to do this half. We're going to climate offset every single holiday that we sell. That includes whether you go on our airline or you go on a different airline. Anyway, we climate offset everything. That means we actually climate offset 1.6 million flying guests. 500,000 guests at our own branded hotels where we climate offset the entire stay. 1.1 million in a bus transfer. And 125,000 people creates a positive impact. This is what I mentioned before. We are best in class in the airline. And again, it's because we control it. We make sure to sell every seat because flying with empty seats doesn't make sense. But now, let's talk about train, because I guess that's where the main focus is for all of you. We actually did try just short of a year and a half ago. We started and saying, okay, let's see how it works with a holiday on train. So we made a holiday going to Switzerland. We offered it as a package tour because that's what we do, that's what we're good at. And therefore, we made it as a holiday, as a package holiday. To Switzerland, we got the best we could get. We had our guides, we had everything. We made a lot of advertising. This is the advertising that we had in Politiken in July 19. But it did not work very well. We had 2 bookings. 2. And honestly, that doesn't work. That would have been 2 bookings, 1 guide, 2 guides down there. No. It simply doesn't work. We tried asking, why does this not work? And one of the answers was actually, look at the travel plan. You start Sunday at almost 3 o'clock in Copenhagen. Then you get off in Fredericia with your suitcase. Change platform, change trains. You do that again in Hamburg, you do it again in Basel, you do it again in Landkart, and then you arrive 21 hours later in Switzerland. I have to admit, that was a tough sell. People just didn't want it. They said, but how can I do that? I can't carry my suitcase 4 times during the night. I can't do this. So we really did give it a good shot. They also said, it's too expensive. It was 12,000 kroners, and that was the price we could get. It was simply too expensive because compared with a week in the Canary Islands, aircraft, night hotel, you end at what, 10,000 in average in the peak season? And this was 12 for 6 days in Switzerland. So we have a travel panel, and then we ask them, what is it that make you choose our package tour? Because asking them that, maybe we could figure out how can we make a product that they would choose and buy. And they said, what's the most important for holiday? And these are people without kids. Direct flight. Okay, so if you travel with kids, we went down to 52% who answered it's a direct flight. City break, direct flight. So we did have a big challenge figuring out how to do it. What we need to do if we need to reintroduce package tours with train, we need to change our focus. Hiking in the Swiss Alps is not going to work. I think city breaks could work. We looked at a trip to Prague, which was not bad. The connection wasn't that bad, but still, it didn't really work. So what we need, if we're ever going to make it work, going by train, it has to be direct. It has to be fast. You can't ask people to change trains 4 times on the way. We have to be competitive. Everything is about money at the end of the day. We also have to choose the right destinations. I think, again, as I mentioned, city breaks could work. Berlin, Prague, Paris. There's a lot of European cities that could work if we can get the right connection at the right price. And then it has to be part of a package tour. How embarrassing the spelling there. Don't look at it. It has to be part of a package tour so that people get the security that it's a package tour, everything that comes under that umbrella. They need that. And that has not become least important after this terrible summer. So I hope that once we get back to a more or less normal travel pattern, which we do not have these days, but I still hope for it. I really believe that soon we'll be back. Corona will be something that we talk about as the annus horribilus, but hopefully next year will be a different place. And then we can look at it and see how can we make a package tour on train. My last slide says questions, but I guess we'll take that when we're done.
We might take it together, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisbeth.